So, we can all agree, all of us, not just us men, even women, we can all agree that dating is cooked in 2026. We can all agree that dating is terrible in 2026. The dating scene is horrible, it's terrible, and no one wants to take dating serious anymore. Isn't that true? We could say that's honestly true. And that's why I wanted to talk about today how dating is yeah, sorry. Dating has been horrific these days and it's just gonna get worse and it's just gonna get worse and I wanted to go into some of the reasons why dating has been terrible in 2026 and you know what, most likely it's just gonna get even more worse going into the years ahead. So to start, one of the key things that we see a lot when it comes to, at least from our side, from my side, from the men's side, is that men are more lonelier than ever. Men are more lonelier than ever. We're hearing about this a loneliness epidemic, or I guess yeah, epidemic is what they call it, right? The loneliness epidemic. Men, they don't they're virgins. They've never had sex before. They've never even been touched by a woman before. They've never even had any sexual encounters with women before. They don't even know how to talk to women. They don't know how to socialize with women. Even worse, they don't know how to socialize with other men, or just go out and start a conversation with other men. I suffer from that. I don't even know how to start conversations with women or men. So, I guess I'm a part of that chart as well, right? I'm a part of that demographic. I think that's the right word. I don't know, but yeah, men suffer with loneliness, and it's a bad thing. There's statistics to show these things. Obviously, online you can see that a lot of men these days, they're single. They have never been in a relationship before, ever since they were born. You know, they've never been they've just never had any experience with dating, and so if that's the case, it just makes life even more harder for the women. It makes life even more harder for the women. It makes life even more harder in general when it comes to dating. So, for me personally, I see that as an issue, and one of the reasons why that's an issue is that women set the standards a bit too high. Am I right? We can all agree here that women set standards a bit too high. He's got to be 6 feet tall. He's got to have a certain amount of money, a high paying job, or he's got to be an entrepreneur. When we know these days that these days it's not easy to even get to that percentage of a man. To get that percentage of the in this economy. We know that it's not easy, and a lot of women ask for a little bit too much these days, and it's unfortunate, and the standards are too high. It's like, oh, you gotta be this high. Well, you can't be this high. No, a lot of men are 6 feet tall. There's like a small percentage of men that are 6 feet tall. Most women want to be with a man that's 6 feet tall, because it feels like it, obviously women want to be with the biggest and the best, right? They want to feel like they're protected, obviously, so they want to go with the most tallest guy. But these days there's not a lot of tall guys walking around these days. 6 feet tall guys, 5'11", 5'10", I guess you could call that tall, right? We don't have a lot of those types of guys around, so it's a high standard. They're they're demanding a lot for these days, when it's not easy to have a lot as a man. It's not easy. It's not. So it's not easy these days. So, and like I was saying in my previous video about men aren't masculine anymore. Men don't know how to be in their masculine frame. Men don't have right role models. Fathers aren't in their lives. I'd say mothers too. Both it's a single parenthood household they live in, so they don't have both role models to be around. Their friends don't know how to be good role models to them, not showing them how, hey, this is this is how you should be. You should be a masculine man. You should be able to provide and should be able to provide and lead and not follow and protect your woman. And a lot of men, they don't have the capabilities of doing that because they just never had the role models growing up. So it's not easy for men to even get into the dating scene these days. Even with dating apps is pointless for men, as if you don't look a certain way, or well, I don't want to say money doesn't even go into the equation, because women don't know if you have money on a dating app. Women just see, if you're attractive on a dating app, you've won. You don't have to worry about having money or not. If you're attractive on a dating app, if you're on the attractiveness scale, high scale, above average looking guy, you're attractive, you already won on the dating apps. But we already know that most men, I don't want to say most men aren't attractive. A lot of men just don't have that, the features that women like when it comes to attractiveness, them being attractive to a man. They just don't have those features, and not a lot of men are genetically gifted these days. So what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? Dating apps don't make it easy. Certain communities don't make it easy. Going and just cold approaching doesn't make it easy as well, because then they're just like, oh, he assaulted me, oh, he harassing me, why are you talking to me, you're weird, or this or that. Or the chick could just be like 15 and you wouldn't even know, and then it's like, oh my god, he's a pedophile, you know what I mean? So that's out of the question. So yeah, those are just some of the reasons. And another thing too that I wanted to mention, that I have noted down, is that, well, this is a very important thing too. This is a very big thing too. Marriage has lost its meaning. Marriage is not even important anymore to a lot of people. People would rather just be in open relationships, just stick to dating. Let's date for 20 years, right? And have an open relationship, and we'll just cheat on each other as much as we want and whatever. And then we'll be like, oh, we're working on it. It's this and that, we just have to do it for the kids. You know what I mean? Have backshot babies, whatever. Have babies that came out by accident. Never get married. Never put in a ring on it. And even when getting married, after a year, it just ends up being a divorce. It just ends up taking their money. The woman ends up taking the man's money, or vice versa. The man doesn't just cheats on his wife or something like that. I'm trying to see both perspectives. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see both. I'm not trying to just make it on women all the time. Because it's not always the woman's fault. I'm trying to see both perspectives here. The man, like I said, the man, maybe cheats on the wife and whatnot. No, it's not. I'm just not feeling it anymore. I kind of got bored. I kind of stopped falling in love with her and this and that. So it's lost its meaning, because God made marriage a very special thing, and it's a very important thing. That unity is very important. That partnership is very powerful to make all the gears run the right way when it comes to sex, when it comes to having kids, when it comes to finding solutions for like daily lives. God made us to be united and to be together and to be as one when it comes to man and woman. You know what I mean? So when people just see it as a contract or a piece of paper, that whenever I feel like I could just sign off on the piece of paper and sign, no, I don't want to be with you anymore, divorce time for me to get money, and they see marriage as just a paycheck, then it kind of squanders what God made marriage for. Just to, it's not just to like, oh well, we can have kids now and then get divorced later, or forget marriage, let's just date, have kids, or else I go and mess with other guys or girls. You know what I mean? It's terrible. But I could go into more detail in it, but for time's sake, I'm not going to. So that's just some of the stuff I wanted to point out too these days when it comes to dating and marriage in 2026. Marriage is gonna be obsolete in the future. People are not gonna want to get married anymore. Men aren't gonna want to get married anymore. Women are not gonna want to get married anymore and have kids. And dating for young guys, they're just gonna be more alone and more, I don't want to say pathetic, but I'll say it'd be more discouraging as ever to see that young guys, young men, they just can't find the right one, because a lot of women, they're in their whole phase. They want to be independent. So that's just what I wanted to talk about today. So hopefully it changes. All the best we could do is just hope. So do the best that we can do as men, playing our role at the end of the day. So, well, that's it.